9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. So once again, I thank everyone for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. May I know who all are joining the call today?
हरे कृष्ण भगवती वसुधा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीति दासी फ्रॉम शार्लोट हरे कृष्ण एंड हैप्पी पुरुषोत्तम मास टू एवरीवन हरे
Hare Krishna Preeti Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Thank you Mataji for the wishes and I again wish everyone happy Purushottam month. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devi Dasi from College Station, Texas, wishing everyone happy Purushottam month. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Mega from Naperville, wishing everyone a happy Purushottam month. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mega Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mata Ji, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees, and happy Purushottam Mass to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shyama Gauri Devi Dasi from Charlotte, wishing everyone happy Krishna conscious Purushottam month.
Hare Krishna Shyama Gauri Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Ji, Vasudha Mataji, Dandvat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Vrinda.
Hare Krishna Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Valli from Naperville, Chicago. Hare Krishna, happy Purushottam Mass for everyone in the class. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Valli Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devdasi from Lincoln.
Hare Krishna Indulekha Karna Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Revati from Atlanta Mataji.
Hare Krishna Revati Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna.
Is there anybody in the call who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji,
Okay,
this is
welcome all of you to Bhakti.
from Nigeria. This is Kavikanapura Das from Nigeria. I wish everyone in the group happy Purushottam Mass. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavats Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much Prabhuji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Okay, I welcome all of you once again. Thank you everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are really fortunate to have His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam 6.17.1 to 3. Before Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for your association and time in this Bhakti Sangha conference call. Before I hand over the call to you, I would like to hand over the call to Tiffany Mataji to give a brief introduction. Hare Krishna Mataji, over to you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. This morning's class will be given by His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhuji. Prabhuji came to Krishna consciousness in 2004, and he earned a MBBS degree from Grant Medical College. Gaur Vilas Prabhuji joined the ashram in 2010, and he was initiated as a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2012. Prabhuji preaches in various medical and engineering colleges, and he also conducts programs for doctors at Bhaktivedanta Hospital and in corporate environments. He is a teacher of Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhav classes. He also conducts congregational programs in Mumbai and Maharashtra. Gaur Vilas Prabhuji has done thorough studies of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And we're so very fortunate to have him with us today. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for that brief introduction. Hare Krishna Prabhu, over to you. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, thank you for this opportunity to serve. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So welcome everyone to today's Bhagavatam class. Thank you for this opportunity to serve. So we are discussing today from 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on chapter 17. We are beginning the 17th chapter today. The 17th chapter is entitled Mother Parvati curses Chitraketu Maharaj. So we'll be discussing the first 3 verses. So first verse, Shukdev Goswami is speaking. Shri Shuka Uvacha Yatashantarhitonanta Stasyai Kritva Dishe Namaha Vidyadharas Chitraketushchachara Gagane Charaha. Translation. Shri Shukdev Goswami said, after offering obeisances to the direction from which Ananta, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, had disappeared, Chitraketu began traveling in the outer space as head of the Vidyadharas. Second and third also will read the translation. Being praised by great sages and saints and by the inhabitants of Siddhaloka and Charanaloka, Chitraketu, the most powerful mystic yogi, wandered about enjoying life for millions of years with bodily strength and senses free from deterioration. He traveled within the valleys of Sumeru mountain, which is the place of perfection for various kinds of mystic power. In those valleys, he enjoyed life with the women of Vidyadharaloka by chanting the glories of Supreme Lord Hari. Purport: it is to be understood that Maharaj Chitraketu, although surrounded by beautiful women from Vidyadharaloka, did not forget to glorify the Lord by chanting the holy name of the Lord. It has been proved in many places that one who is not contaminated by any material condition, who is a pure devotee engaged in chanting the glories of the Lord, should be understood to be perfect. Hare Krishna. So this is a very, very interesting section and interesting verse. Now in these verses, Shukdev Goswami is describing after Chitraketu became free from the lamentation, that is the story, background story. He became free from the lamentation because of the death of his son. Hearing the instructions of Angira and Narada Muni, he went to do tapasya, pleased Lord Shankarshan, and got his blessings. He became a pure devotee. And now, after Ananta, Lord Ananta, he disappeared. Then, what is he getting? That is very, very interesting. And that is described very nicely in these verses. How a devotee in this world, generally the conception is a person who is a devotee of the Lord, they may not get, material opulences. But in these verses, very clearly it is described that the Chitraketu Maharaj, he got material opulences also, so much so that he is enjoying life in heavenly airplanes. He is going wherever he wanted in his plane. But the interesting thing between a materialist getting a material opulence and a devotee getting a material opulence is described here. And that is a very, very classic difference in consciousness of a devotee and a non-devotee when they get money, when they get fame, when they get wealth, when they get prestige, powers. And what is the difference? They continue to glorify the holy names of the Lord. They don't get contaminated by the wealth of this world. They don't get contaminated by the powers of this world. In the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Vamanadev, he tested Bali Maharaj. After testing, Vamanadev tells one beautiful verse. Vidya tapo vittavapo vayo kulai. Janma karma vayo rupa vidyashwarya dhanadibhi yadi yasya na bhavet stambha tatrayam maddanugrahat. There he says, Vamanadev is saying, Janma, karma, vayo, rupa, vidya, aishwarya, dhan, and others. High birth, high good activities, janma, karma, vayo, youthful body, beautiful body, having lots of education, wealth, prestige, and so on and so forth. If a person gets all that and he is not affected by it, that means you should understand he has received my mercy. Because it is not possible to be, humble and not get affected if somebody has all these qualities, all these wonderful aishwarya. That yadi yasya na bhavet stambha. Stambha means proud. If he doesn't become proud, even after getting all that, that means that devotee has received mercy of the Lord. Tatrayam mad anugrahat. That is the very, very important thing. And in this verse, as we can see that Chitraketu Maharaj, because he received the mercy of the Lord, he is not affected by any of the opulence. Actually, he is in Vaikuntha atmosphere. In third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Brahmaji is describing the Vaikuntha, there he describes beautifully. The exact same description is there in third canto also. He is describing that all the residents of Vaikuntha, they are flying in their personal chartered planes with their beautiful wives. They are moving around in the gardens of Vaikuntha, and beautiful breeze carrying the aroma of the Madhavi flowers coming. And all this in the material world may create a very, very sensual atmosphere, arousing the lusty desires. But what these Vaikuntavasis are doing, they are glorifying the Lord, and therefore they are not affected by lust. Vaimanika salalana charitani shashvat gayanti yatra shamalam shapanani bharatu antarajalenu vikasam madhumadavina gandhena khandita dhiha apyanilam shipantaha. Vaimanika in their flying airplanes, Salalana along with their wives, Charitani Sashwat Gayanti. This is a very, very, very contrasting combination. You are with beautiful women or men, and you are moving around in very wonderful plane, going around in beautiful gardens. So what you'll do, you'll enjoy. But what these people are doing, Vaikuntavasis, Charitani Shashwat Gayanti Amala Charita. Gayanti Yatra Shamalam Shapanani Bharatu. They are glorifying. All the beautiful breeze is coming, still they are not disturbed. Akhandit Dhiya. Akhandit means their intelligence is not affected. They are not contaminated in their consciousness. So that is the difference between a devotee. When they get power, when they get fame, wealth, they don't forget Krishna. And similar is described about Chitraketu also. He enjoyed life with women of Vidyadhar by chanting the glories. So we have only one understanding of enjoyment. But here, a different understanding of enjoyment is given. Enjoying life with women or with men, for opposite gender. Enjoyment means you enjoy each other. But here, what is enjoyment? Glorifying the names of the Lord. By chanting the glories of the Lord. So that is a symptom of a pure devotee. That shows that Chitraketu has become a pure devotee by the mercy of the Lord. Otherwise, it is not possible. So this is a very, very important, concept, important principle in our Krishna consciousness. The more we please the Lord, the more we'll become, away from, will become disgusted with, not disgusted, will become detached. There's a difference between disgust and detachment. Devotees that don't get disgusted with material sense gratification, they just become detached from it. Disgust is not so, required, because a devotee is not disgusted with this material world. He is just detached from this material world. They use this material world in service of Krishna, not disgusted. Disgust is a symptom of jnani. That means he doesn't like this world. He just wants to be free from this world. The devotee is not disgusted. The devotee is just detached. Devahuti, she prayed to Kapiladev, Nirvinna Nitaram Bhuman Asad Indriya Tarshana. I am disgusted with this material world. Devahuti starts with this. So their acharyas say, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says that devotee at that stage, she's qualified for jnana, not for bhakti. So she is disgusted. But a devotee becomes detached. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayat Ahetukam. So devotee is detached. Naturally, the detachment comes. And I just thought of, speaking something about this Chaturmas, and especially, in India here today, of course, in US also, there must be today's Adhik Mas starting. So it has started here, and this is in the morning, I think there. So this is a very, very important month, very, very potent month to practice Krishna consciousness and become advanced and become more and more committed to the process of Krishna consciousness. Many times it is said that this whatever spiritual activity we do gets multiplied by millions of times, or whatever numbers are given. In Kartika, sometimes it is said, in one verse it is said Purushottam month is even more powerful than Kartik month. So all these things which are given in the scriptures, we should understand first thing, that a devotee is not interested in numbers. A devotee is not interested in, calculating, okay, how much will I get if I practice this vrata? How much advancement will I make by practicing this Purushottam vrata or Kartik vrata? Because that makes one a businessman. We are not doing business with Krishna. Narsimhadev, when he told, "Oh Prahlad, please ask something." You know what Prahlad said? "Oh Lord, I am not a businessman. I am not a vanik. I have not done bhakti to get something from you." So whenever we hear such stories, some such statements in the scriptures, if you read this, you will get this benefit. If you follow this vrata, you will get this much more benefit. Of course, they have their importance, but that is primarily for people who are not at all connected to spiritual life. To attract them, all these statements are made. So what to do for devotees? How devotees should take these statements? For a devotee, these statements, these vratas, these months should make them more and more committed to the process of Krishna consciousness. Not just for 1 month, it should be for life. That is how a devotee practices these months. Kartik month, Purushottam month. And this is a very, very, of course, very, very important month to practice spiritual life, where we can again revisit our commitments, again remind ourselves of our commitments in the path of Krishna consciousness, and make one step, more to come close to Krishna. I was speaking last time to one other group where I was discussing about the various types of austerities people do in Chaturmas. Chaturmas started around a few weeks back, and now Adhik Mas is starting today. Many devotees will take many vows of different austerities. Of course, some people they eat grains one time, or eat fruits, or some don't take sweets and fry, or whatever. Some chant extra rounds. Of course, physical austerity is needed. As Rishabdev tells to his sons, Nayam deho deha bhajam niloke kashtam kaan arhati vid bhujam ye tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam shuddhyed yasmat brahma saukhyam tvanantam. This is a very famous verse. Prabhupada quoted this many times. In that, Prabhupada writes, Rishabdev tells, Tapo divyam putraka. The human body is meant for tapasya, and there is no substitute for tapasya. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 3 things should never be given up: yajna, dana, and tapa. Sacrifice, charity and austerity. They purify even great souls. Yagya dana tapak karma natyajyam karyam evatat yagyo danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. They purify even great souls. So these things are very, very important. Yagya. Which type of yagya we can do in this Kali Yuga? Yagyai sankirtana prayai yajanti hi sumedhasa. The intelligent people, they practice this yagya of sankirtan. Yagyanam japa yagya. Krishna says in the 10th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, I am the japa yagya. Of all the yagyas, the best is japa yagya. That yagya we have to perform. Charity, type of charity. Of course, giving charity of dravya, of articles, of wealth, that is great. But the best type of charity we can do, the best welfare activity is giving the charity of the holy names, connecting others to Krishna. So tapasya, and what type of tapasya one should perform? Tapasya plays a very, very important role. Even in 10th canto, Rukmini Devi, as she is writing a letter to Krishna, tomorrow she is about to get married to Shishupal. She has written a letter, sent it to Krishna, waiting for the answer. One of the words, one of the things she writes is Purteshta datta niyama vratadeva vipra guru archana deviralam bhagavan pareshaha aradito yadi gada grajamet panim granatu namago tadayonye. She's saying, oh my Lord, if by pious activities, by sacrifices, by charity, by rituals, by vows, if I have sufficiently worshipped Supreme Lord, let the son of Damghosh, Shishupal, not take me, O my Lord. So one of the things she says, if I have performed sufficient austerities, tapa, purteshta, dattaniyama, prattadeva, vipra, if I have performed tapa, so Krishna may say, you are not qualified to become my wife. How can I marry you? Rukmini says, that is true. I'm not qualified, but I will try to attain you and I will do tapasya for hundreds of lifetimes. I'm ready. Till the time you don't give me mercy, I will continue to do tapasya. And then with that mood, she says the next verse. Yasyangri pankaj raja snapanam mahanto vanchanti umapatirivatmatamopahatyai yarhyambujakshana bhavat prasadam jayamashun vratakrishan janma bhisyat. In that she's saying, oh my Lord, if you don't accept me, if you don't give me your mercy, angri pada pankaj raja snapanam, if I don't get the dust of your lotus feet, which is, being taken over by Lord Shiva on his head. Vanchanti Umapati. Umapati is Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva hankers to have your dust. Yarhi ambujakshanalabhe bhavat prasadam. Oh lotus-eyed Lord, if I don't get your mercy, what will I do? Jahya, I'll give up my life. Again, I'll take birth. Again, I'll do tapa, vrat krishan, I'll do shat janma, I'll 100 lifetimes, I'll continue to do the same thing. I'll do tapasya. He says, I'll practice celibacy, I'll practice austerities for millions of lifetimes. I'm ready to do that. So that is the, importance of austerity in the life. Rukmini Devi is ready to do that. She's doing it. So now the question is, what type of austerity? Because unless one practices austerities, it is not possible to attain Krishna. Even when Krishna enters Mathura for the first time, all the ladies of Mathura, they are seeing the beauty of Krishna. And they are thinking, wow, such beauty, such youth, such, and they're saying that Krishna is the embodiment of loveliness. The gopis must have performed tapasya for many, many lifetimes. What tapasya they must have done? They were drinking the beauty of Krishna every day. Gopya tapah kimacharam yadamushya rupam lavanya saramasamordhamananya siddham Drigvi pibanti anusava vinavam durapam ekanta dhama yashasa shriya aishwarasya Gopya tapa kimacharam. अरे क्या तपस्या किया होगा? What tapasya these gopis must have performed? Lavanya saram, the essence of loveliness. Asam ortham, there is nobody equal to Krishna, nobody greater than Krishna in beauty. Drigvi pibanti, they were drinking anusava, they were drinking the nectar of this beauty every day with their eyes. So without tapasya, Krishna cannot be attained. What type of tapasya? We have to do the tapasya of being sincere, serious, and attentive in our practices. That is the most important tapasya we have to do. One time, Gurudas Prabhu, he was with Prabhupada in Vrindavan, and they were doing parikrama. Gurudas Prabhu was not wearing shoes or slippers. Prabhupada asked, so why are you not wearing slippers? He said, Prabhupada, this is Vrindavan. I am doing tapasya. Prabhupada said, there is already enough. Don't add one. We have already enough tapasya in our life. Don't invent new tapasyas. And if somebody is not becoming Krishna conscious by doing tapasya, if bhakti is not there in our tapasya, it may happen. By doing physical austerities, there are chances one may become little proud. All these people are not doing it, I am doing it. What is the use? If bhakti is not there. Aradhito yadi hari tapasa tatha kim, naradhito yadi hari tapasa tatha kim. If you are worshipping Krishna, what is the use of tapasya? If you are not worshipping Krishna, what is the use of tapasya? Whatever we do in our Krishna consciousness, if we are not coming close to Krishna, it is shrama evahi kevalam, it is waste of time, it is waste of energy. If we are great tapasvis, great charitable people, very famous people, expert in mantras, expert in studying literatures, if we are not offering our results to Krishna, it is all waste. That's why Shukdev Goswami, when he's offering his prayers, in 2nd canto, 4th chapter, he offers his Mangalacharan first time. There he speaks a very beautiful verse. Tapasvino dana yashasvino manasvino mantravido sumangala shemam na vindanti vinaya darpanam tasmai subhadra shravase namo namaha. So there he's saying that if somebody is great, tapasvi, danapara, yashasvi, manasvi, mantravida, shemam na vindanti, they'll not become benefited, they'll not get benefited if Vina yadarpanam, they are not offering it to Krishna. That means if they are not pleasing Krishna, we are not conscious of Krishna, if we are not becoming humble, then it is waste. Mere austerity is not important. Intention is more important. Why we are doing it? Austerity of the bodies, of course, in Kali Yuga, for many people, very difficult to do austerities of the body. Fasting, eating once, because body doesn't support. Of course, austerities of the body are needed. Deva Dvija Guru Pragya Pujanam Shauchamarjavam Brahmacharyam Ahimsa Cha Shariram Tapa Uchyate, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Offering obeisances to Supreme Lord, Brahmanas, spiritual master, superiors, celibacy, cleanliness, simplicity, non-violence. They are the austerities of the body. So austerities of the body, for us, many times we think austerity of the body means fasting. But in this verse, Krishna is telling, austerity of the body is bowing down, worshipping Krishna, worshipping devotees, serving them is a greater austerity. One time, Srila Prabhupada was giving a class, and Yadubar Prabhu, one of the initial disciples of Prabhupada, he was a photographer, and everybody would offer obeisances, but he would not offer. He would not like it so much, So Prabhupada noticed it, and he asked, "Why are you not offering obeisances?" He said, "Prabhupada, I don't feel like bowing down. Swamiji, I don't feel like bowing down." Prabhupada said, "Bow down now, feelings will come later." So austerity of the body means giving respect to superiors. That is what Krishna says. Because anyways in Kali Yuga, the capacity for bodily austerity is less, very less. Tamal Krishna Maharaj recalls that when one time he was getting operated and in Mumbai, so he was given anesthesia and he was told to count from 10 to 1. He started 10, 9, 8, 7, and by 7 he was knocked off. And then as he is being operated, he saw a dream. And in that dream, he saw that Srila Prabhupada is being called by all the acharyas. All the acharyas, they have come and they have asked for report. Preaching activities, what is the report? So Prabhupada, he is giving very interesting report. He says, Prabhupada says, I have studied the people of this planet. They have no capacity to do any type of austerity, nor are they pious, nor they are capable of studying anything. Their only qualification is somehow they have taken my shelter. And then, after some time, Tamal Krishna Maharaj came out of the anesthesia and he saw Prabhupada standing in front of him. And he asked Prabhupada, he told him, Prabhupada, I saw this dream. Prabhupada said, actually, this is the case. So even if we are not able to do any physical austerities, if we can just follow the instructions of becoming a sincere devotee, a serious devotee, an attentive devotee, that is biggest austerity. Of course, if you have the capacity to do tapasya, great, we should do it, no doubt about it. But real austerity, is even more than physical austerity. If we can do the austerity of speech, that is a bigger austerity. Controlling the speech, speaking only about Krishna, only about the good qualities of devotees. That vow we should take in these months. Because, during time of initiation or after spending some time in Krishna consciousness, all of us follow these 4 principles. But one devotee was telling me that after we spend few years in Krishna consciousness, these 4 regulative principles are not enough. We have to take a vow of not criticizing others, not hearing bad of others. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is described in the first Adi Lila, 8th chapter. Kaviraj Goswami is describing Pandit Haridas, the priest of Madan Mohan temple, a priest of Govindadev temple. And he's describing the qualities of this great devotee. Sevara Dhyaksha Shri Pandita Haridas Tarayasha Gune Sarva Jagate Prakash. He says the qualities of this devotee was, famous all over the world. Shushila, Shahishnu, Shant, Vadanya, Gambhir, मधुर वचन मधुर चेष्टा महाधीर समार सम्मान करता कोरे न सवार हित कौटिल्य मात्सर्य हिंसा ना जाने तार चित. All these wonderful qualities: sushil, humble, gentle, peaceful, merciful, grave, savar samman karta, giving respect to everyone. And then he speaks a very, very important verse. Vaishnava gunagrahi na dekhaye dosh, काय मनोवाक्य करे Vaishnava santosh. Vaishnava is gunagrahi. He takes the essence. He never sees faults. That is greatest tapasya. Not to see fault in devotees. Oh, he has faults. What to do? Some devotees sometimes they say, I am just telling the truth. I am just telling the fact. What can I do? I'm not adding anything. He has all these faults, right? And if you've experienced this, came across such people, they say, I am just telling the fact. This devotee has this, bad quality. What to do? I am just revealing, Divya Gyan, Hridaya Prakashita. But interesting thing is, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, you would never hear any fault about any devotee, even if it is right. That is a bigger tapasya. Speaking good about others is a bigger tapasya. Because bodily austerity is sometimes may make us proud. If we are doing artificially bodily austerity, is doing Ekadashi, all Nirjal Ekadashi, all Ekadashi is Nirjal. Great, please do it if you can. But while doing those austerities, we should always check our intentions. Why I am doing it? I want to be famous as a very great devotee, or do I want to spend my time in remembering Krishna more? Otherwise, Lord Shiva tells Parvati, Sati, it comes in the 4th canto when Sati is, just telling, she is really insisting, I want to go to my father's place, Daksha, he has started a big sacrifice, I want to attend. Lord Shiva tells, look, your father doesn't like me. If you go, you'll be insulted. Sati may say, well, my father will not find fault. He has wisdom. Lord Shiva speaks a very important verse. Vidya tapo vittavapo vayokulai satam gunai shadvira sattametara smritau hatayam dhritamana durgrisha stabdhana pashyanti dhama bhuyasam. Stabdha, a proud person, even if he has vidya, tapa, vitta, vapu, vaya, kula. These 6 symptoms, they are the great qualities of saintly people. Good, lots of knowledge, austerity, wealth, good body, youthful body, high birth, saintly qualities. But if somebody is proud, a proud person, even if a proud person has all these qualities, na pashyanti dham bhuyasam, he will never be able to appreciate the good qualities of other people. So we have to be really important, really, alert and attentive to see this important aspect of austerity. Otherwise, Maya Devi is so very cunning, so very shrewd. She convinces a devotee ki you have become now a big devotee, You are sitting at one place and chanting your 16 rounds. Just see this devotee, he is sleeping throughout the chanting. And you are known to be such a great devotee, you are doing management nicely. So many people are asking from you how to practice bhakti. You have become a big devotee. And that is the beginning of the fall, when we start becoming proud. And that's what Maya Devi wants. Pride, subtly enters. So therefore, we have to be really careful about our speech. That is a bigger tapasya. To speak only Krishna Katha, not speaking faults of devotees, very difficult. Especially when we are living in community of devotees, where we know each other very closely. We know iska ye problem hai, iska ye problem hai, this person has this fault, this person has done that garbad. I know everything about all this. If we want to make advancement, we have to be really careful, not speaking about faults. That tapasya is bigger tapasya. Shukdev Goswami is telling, Shrotavyadi Nirajendra Ninam Santi Sahasrashaha Apashyatam Atma Tattvam Griheshu Grihamedinam. O King, people have hundreds and thousands of topics to talk about. It is a very natural inclination to speak about faults of others. Oh, you know what that person did? You don't know? I will enlighten you. And then, it starts. And then after speaking for, some time, they may say, oh, what we have to do, just leave it. Then why you spend so much of your time discussing all these things? So as a spiritualist, as a devotee, we have to be very careful. We have to keep our speech pure and chaste. That is the bigger tapasya. Otherwise, Sudha Goswami tells, Shaunakadi Rishi tells in the second canto, if we are not speaking, using our tongue to speak about Krishna, that tongue is like a tongue of a frog. It will keep on croaking and it'll invite the death snake. Bilebatoru krama vikramanye na shinvati karna pute narasya jihva asati dar durike vasuta nachopagaya tyurugaya gatha. Dar durikeva means frog. Ears, if they are not used to hear Krishna Katha, they are the holes where snakes live. Tongue, if it is not used to speak Krishna Katha, it is like a tongue of a frog. So we have to be really careful how we are using our various senses, especially in today's world of social media, where we have access to all the information of all the world. We know about devotees so much. It's so very difficult to focus and not speak about the faults of devotees. But that is a better tapasya to do. Otherwise, Vaishnava Prad is a very, very deadly thing. One time, one devotee, one of the Prabhupada disciples, one of the servants of Prabhupada, Upendra Prabhu, he was serving Prabhupada and Prabhupada was in his room. He went out, he came out of the room and he saw one devotee and he started talking and he was waiting for, Prabhupada to call him. Prabhupada rang his bell. Upendra Prabhu came inside and Prabhupada asked him, who are you talking to? He said, Prabhupada, I'm talking to that devotee, I just met him. What are you talking about? Prabhupada asked him. He said, Prabhupada, just about things and devotees, I was just talking. Prabhupada said a very, very serious statement. He said, that is gossip. Gossip will destroy this movement. It was a very, very heavy statement. So we have to be really, beware of gossiping and gossipers. Those who speak without any need about people and things of the world and about devotees. Because A person who is speaking about others, they take delight in that. They think they are doing some great benefit for the society. But as devotees, we are not, and Chaitanya Prabhu says a very nice statement. He says, as devotees, we are not meant to laugh at others. We are meant to laugh with others. So we should not speak about others' faults. Nindadi Shunya. Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami says, Nindadi Shunya. One should not find fault with devotees. Beware of speech. What we are speaking, austerity of speech is a greater tapasya. Higher than that is austerity of the mind. Yena kena prakareణ manah krishne niveshaye. That is a bigger tapasya. Keep our mind focused on Krishna. That is our whole lifetime of project. Because if our mind is distracted, then whatever tapasya we may do, whatever chanting we may do, it will not give the effect. I think last time also I shared this some time back. Sachinandan Maharaj was telling in his talk, one of the online talks I was listening. He said there are two types of holy names. There is a Kevala Naam and there is Shuddha Samyak Naam. Sneha Samyak Naam. Kevala Naam means when you are not attentive. Sneha Samyak Naam means when we are prayerful. We are trying to bring our mind towards Krishna, towards holy names. That is a bigger tapasya because so many lifetimes we have tried so many things to enjoy and satisfy our mind. But the nature of the mind is never get satisfied. Kamadinam katina katidha palita duranidesha tesham jata maina karuna natrapanopasanti utsrijya etanath yadupate sampratam labdha buddhi tvamayatah sharanam abhayam mamyam shvatmadasye. This devotee is praying to Krishna, oh my Lord, I have served my mind and senses and anarthas for many, many lifetimes. Kamadinam, all my anarthas, Palita Durindi, I have served them so much, but they are such ungrateful masters. Tesham jata mai na karuna. They have never showed me any mercy. Na trapa, no relief. No upashanti, no peace. Utsrijya etanath yadupate. Oh my Lord, now in this life I have understood and I have given up the service to my anarthas. Tvamayatah sharanam. I have come to your shelter, oh my Lord. Please accept me. Please give me abhay. Abhayam mam niyum shvatmadasye. Please accept me as your servant. That's the prayer we have to make. We have to remind ourselves. Because only Krishna Katha can satisfy the hankerings of the mind. Nothing else can satisfy the mind. Dhupam bhagavato yattat manah kantam. That is the original, that is the real friend of the mind. And we are not into mind control, by the way. Because there are many jnanis, yogis, they are able to control the mind. We are not interested in mind control. We are interested in serving Krishna. And for that, we should try to bring our mind back to Krishna's lotus feet. And if we go ahead in Krishna consciousness, then the results are amazing. There are 4 stages in the life of a devotee. When we come to Krishna consciousness, the first stage is helpless defeat. When temptations come, we surrender. We don't even struggle. That is a situation with many devotees when they start coming. to Krishna consciousness. As soon as some temptation comes, okay, leave it. We have heard a lot of Krishna Katha. Chalo, we'll enjoy and come back. They don't even struggle. Second level, struggle and defeat. Now they start struggling. They have understood some things. They struggle with their senses, but they ultimately get defeated. They surrender to sense gratification. Third level is struggle and success. Now they become successful. They struggle, but they become successful in Krishna, in that struggle. And the fourth stage is effortless success. Just like Haridas Thakur, when he was tested by Maya Devi, he didn't struggle to convince his mind, no, I have to focus my mind on chanting. No, it was effortless success. That's a pure devotee. Maya Devi, she's coming and she's asking, More angikara karo hoiya sadaye dine daya karo ei sadhu swabhava hoye. She's telling Haridas Thakur, oh Haridas, you are a sadhu and I am a helpless person. I have come to beg. Please help me. Please accept me. More angikara kar. Please accept me. I am troubled by my desires. And you are a sadhu. Please accept me. And then she starts showing all her beauty and expressions. Eta boli nana bhava kore prakash. Yahar darshane ramunir hoye dhairyanash. Sakshat Maya Devi is coming and showing her splendor. But who can stand? But Nirvikar Haridas Gambhir Ashay. Nirvikar Haridas. Haridas Thakur was Nirvikar. No expressions, no disturbance. He tells, look, I have taken a vow of chanting particular number of times. So you please stay. You sit at the door. Dware vashi shunatumi nama sankirtan. You please sit at the door. You hear my chanting. And after my vow is over, I'll accept you. I'll serve you. In this way, 3 days pass by. And all 3 days, she is showing all her beauty. Nana bhava dikhai yate brahmar hare man. Even Brahma can get bewildered. But Haridas Thakur was not bewildered. Krishne nama vishtamana sada Haridas aranye rodito hoila stri bhava prakash. Just like in this verse of Chiriketu Maharaj, surrounded by beautiful Vidyadhar ladies. But what are they doing? They're absorbed in Harikatha. They're absorbed in chanting. Similarly, Haridas Thakur, Krishne nama vishtamana. His mind was absorbed in Krishna. Krishnana. All the beauty of Maya Devi was like crying in wilderness. No effect. That is the power. That is the, that is in store for us. If we can take to this process of Krishna consciousness attentively by doing the austerity of Yato yato nischalati manashanchalam astiram tatastato niyamnyaitad atmanyeva vashamnai. Wherever and whenever the mind goes, bring it back. Bring it back to holy names. Gurujana Prabhu writes in his Japa book, we have to chant one mantra at a time. We should not take the burden of chanting all the 16 rounds attentively. Just give mind small job. One mantra at a time. Be detached from all the bad chanting we have done. Don't think abhi pichle baar itna nahi kiya chanting, abhi kya karke fayda hai. No. We have to continue to chant attentively. As soon as we realize, we should bring our mind back and beg for the mercy of Prabhupada and Krishna and Mahaprabhu. So that is the austerity which we should try to do. Austerity of the mind. Austerity of the intelligence is also there. In this month, we can take a vow of studying scriptures. Whenever we take all these vows, they should get ingrained in our, existence. It should not be just for 4 months. Of course, some tapasya we do for 4 months, but some basic things of spiritual standards, if we are implementing, that should go on for life. That is a purpose. That is a training we are giving. Why these 4 months are there? Why this Adhik Mas? So that we can train our mind. Okay, now you have done for 4 months. Now please continue for a whole year. We have to train ourselves to study, absorb our mind, absorb our intelligence in reading scriptures, reading Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is not for outsiders. Vaishnavanam priyam Srimad Bhagavatam pramanam amalam yad Vaishnavanam priyam yasmin paramahamsyamekam amalam jnanam paramagiyate tatra jnana viraga bhakti sahitam naishkarmyamavishkritam tashrinvan supatan vicharana paro bhaktya vimuchyen naraha. This is one of the last verses of the last chapter of the last canto, 12th chapter. 12th canto, 13th chapter. In this, Sudha Goswami is saying, Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamalam, it is the Amala Praman, Vaishnavanam Priyam. If we call ourselves as Vaishnavas, Bhagavatam should be dear to us. That is a tapasya for the mind. That is tapasya for intelligence, to study. Study scriptures. Study Bhagavatam. We should never be lazy in understanding the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. That is austerity we should take. Siddhanta Baliya Jiva Chitte Nakaralas. So all these austerities are very, very important. And ultimately we should do the austerities of false ego also. By trying to be humble. Because ultimately humility is the crux. Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. Tapasya of the false ego is most important. Because if we don't surrender and become humble in front of devotees, we will not get the mercy of the Lord. Because we cannot barge into the kingdom of God. We can just pray and wait. A stubborn person demands. A humble person waits. You can just pray and wait. So that is the tapasya we should try to do. So with that, I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Mantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Anybody has any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you so much for this very beautiful class, Prabhuji. It was really useful because you were talking about the real austerities, real vrata that we have to take in the month of Purushottam month. It's not external, it is more of internal cleanliness and internal charity. Thank you. Thank you. The word you told that bringing people to Krishna consciousness, that is the real charity. It was very catchy, Prabhu. Thank you so much. It was so much inspiring. Thank you, Prabhu. I request devotees, if you have any questions, you can ask now. You can raise your hand or you can ask now. Prabhuji, I would like to ask one thing. Like, I recently heard that if we take some vow that we will follow for this month, and if you are not able to do one day, what you should also fix some punishment. Like you will do, the punishment should be more harder than the vow that you have taken, so that you will not miss any day. So But I also feel that, like as you said, you have to do an O that you will continue for this month so that you will be able to continue for the year. So now it's really a little bit tough to make that decision. If I make it as more tougher in the case of not able to follow as a punishment, then how is it, Prabhu? I will be able to follow the whole year because I will feel like, okay, oh my God, at least I was able to follow this month. Done.
Yeah, there are some austerities which people take for these 4 months, just like eating one time grains or not eating fried and sweets. But there are some things we should try to inculcate, some tapasya we should do so that it will get ingrained in these 4 months. Just like sitting at one place and chanting. That is the tapasya which we can do, we should do always, right? Yeah, because otherwise, the mind convinces us, you have already chanted 8 rounds sitting, you can just move around and then chant, and it will be good for your health also. So apart from doing our regular, practicing whatever tapasya we do for these 4 months, few things we should think what I can do for my entire life. Yeah. So that will give us a boost, because ultimately spiritual practice is all matter of training the mind. Prabhupada writes, Updeshamrit, Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami writes, and Prabhupada also gives in the purport that it is a training which we are giving to our mind. So these 4 months, we should train our mind in a way that we can continue our entire year. Apart from some tapasyas which we do for these 4 months, some things we should try to practice that will become ingrained. That is a better way. And that is a purpose. Rather than doing something for 4 months and then, okay, we are done with the Chaturmas, we're done with the Sadik Mas. Try to do something which we can practice whole year. We have to think individually what we can do, whole year. At least I'll try to inculcate that habit in these 4 months. So that is what I can think of. And of course, if we have to punish ourselves, then it is very, very difficult. So our punishment should not be so much that, it creates a horror in the mind, or next year, next year I'll not do this. Yeah. It should be susukham kartum abhyayam, right? It should give us happiness. So by practicing that, we should be more happy, rather than getting, anxious and stressed out. We should do something that will make us happy in Krishna consciousness. Just like another thing which we can do is, trying to study something every day as a matter of tapasya for these 4 months. And then after 4 months, it will become a practice. Then it will be easy to continue, So these are the small things which we should try to do. So that will help us in the long run.
Yes, Prabhu, it's very clear. Yeah, this is one and that is one. Both if we keep, one should be for continuing, one should be for maybe for that month and gives you some strength. Thank you. Thank you. Very clear. Yes, there is the hand raise. I request Kavikarnapura Prabhuji, you can ask your question.
Yes, thank you very much, Mataji. Thank you very much, Gaur Vilas Prabhu. I really appreciate your lecture. It was very introspective. I was just making me go more and more inside. And we talk about not criticizing devotees, about different austerity, charity. It was very nice. And I want to ask a question regarding not criticizing devotee. I remember many a times when we take a vow that, that it's not good to criticize devotee. And when immediately you take a vow that you will not do something in spiritual life, a test will come. So you take a vow, I will not criticize devotee. Then before you know, a devotee start coming, and and they will start talking towards the direction that you start criticizing the devotee. And already you made a vow before that time, But because now the thing becomes juicy, very sweet, you forget your vow. You start talking and you talking. Then after you finish talking, oh my God, I said I will not criticize, but I already done it. Oh, wow. So Prabhu, how to be able to guide ourselves so that when we take such vow, which are very, very important, not to criticize the devotees because there's fault everywhere in the world. So this vow is a very important thing that we should take serious. So how can we be able to protect ourselves that after taking vow, that I will not criticize the devotee because actually there's no fault. We are the fault. We are the one who have in fault. So how can we be able to protect that vow by following it so that we don't start engaging in it and we are carried away by it? Please help me, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, very, very, graphic example you have given. All of us must have gone through this, But the one thing we should always remember is, the more we hear about the seriousness of, criticizing devotees, how offensive it is, the more we'll be fearful of it, So the problem is, many times we think, it's okay, I'm just speaking something for some, it is a light conversation going on. I'm not really doing a aparadh like Amogha was doing to Mahaprabhu. I am just doing simple, sometimes here and there we are talking. But, we are training our mind. We are telling our mind, it's okay to speak like this. Chalta hai, Okay, no problem. Sometimes we can do. And then slowly, it snowballs. And slowly we go into the region where we really start speaking, in a wrong way. And that happens very gradually. And we don't even realize that we have entered a danger zone. So, as a matter of fact, all the acharyas, one time Srila Prabhupada, one devotee, he went to him and said, Prabhupada, Shyam Sundar Prabhu, Shyam Sundar Prabhu, Prabhupada's disciple. He said, Shyam Sundar Prabhu, he is in a leadership position. He is a manager. He is not chanting his rounds. And this person has come just 1 year back. And Shyam Sundar Prabhu is like, very senior devotee now in ISKCON. And of course, for some time he had some issues. Prabhupada, he just neglected that devotee. He didn't even look at him. And then later he told another devotee, just tell him. He didn't even talk to that devotee. There was another devotee standing beside him. He said, just tell him he is doing a Vaishnava aparadh. Although what he was speaking was right. The statements were right. He was just sharing the facts as a concern. But there was a little bit of, other feelings. So we have to be really introspective when we are speaking wrong about other devotees, when we are pointing out the faults of devotees. Am I doing it to help that person, or am I enjoying it? So that is a very, very important introspection we have to do before speaking any fault. Many times it is for, just as a matter of fact, as a matter of, sharing some things, we speak about the faults of others. And we may say, well, I'm doing just sharing information and I'm not creating any wrong image. That's what he is doing or she is doing. I'm just sharing the facts. Whatever may be the case, we are doing a Vaishnava aparadh. So we have to be really, as a devotee community, we have to be really careful. If it is not our job, if we are not in that position, we should not talk about it. If we are really concerned about the person doing something wrong, we should approach some senior devotee and we should tell, a year back, Bhakti Brihad Bhagavat Maharaj, he had come to our temple and he gave a Vaishnava, Vaishnava Sadachar seminar. And in that he spoke that even if you think that this person is doing something wrong, you know how you present your case? You go to a senior devotee and you tell him, Prabhuji, I'll be very happy if I'm wrong, but this is what I am seeing. Can we do something to help this devotee? You know, so it should be made, the statement should be made with such regret that I don't feel like speaking all this, but I want to help him. So when we are really doing all this introspection, you know, then we will be out of this Vaishnava Aparadh zone. Otherwise, it is a Matta Hati Aparadh, you know, we have heard a lot. Mad elephant offense. So we have to always remind ourselves about the seriousness of Vaishnava Aparadh. It all begins with speaking. We never ever, you know, it is a rare thing that we'll do physically offense. Physical offense is like very far out. We'll never beat a devotee or, you know, all that. But it all begins with speaking. So we have to be really careful about speaking good things about devotees. It is the greatest tapasya. To speak good about devotees, greatest tapasya. But we have to understand, we are not in an institution of pure devotees. We are in an institute of sadhakas, right? There are pure devotees, but most of the devotees are sadhakas, practitioners. And every sadhaka has anarthas, have faults. Kalera dosha nidhi rajan, nare dosh. This is the ocean of faults. From that ocean of faults, if somebody takes one glass of fault, what is a big thing? What is a big endeavor? Everybody has faults. So we should be really careful not to criticize, not to find faults. You know, in that case of Sati and Daksha, when Sati goes to Daksha and Daksha doesn't even welcome Sati, Sati becomes so angry. She tells that you are ati asadhutam. I'll just, you know, tell you, she says something very, very interesting. She says, you know, she tells that there are 8 levels of people. And the verse is doshan pareshan higuneshu sadhavo grihnanti kechin nabhavadrishodvicha gunam shafalgun bahuli karishnavo mahattamam steshvavidad bhavanagam. So she's saying, oh Daksha, man like you can simply find fault in the qualities of others. Lord Shiva, however, not only finds no fault with others, but if someone has little good quality, he magnifies it greatly. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives the wonderful analysis. He says, you know, there are 8 levels of people. Let me, you know, find out that. He says that there are 8 levels of people. So he says the most degraded personality is ati asadhutam. You know what is ati asadhutam? He will find faults even if there are no faults. Just like Amogha, he was finding faults with Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu had no faults. Still he was finding faults with Mahaprabhu. Ati asadhutam. Little better than that is asadhutam. This personality sees small faults and he magnifies them. Have you encountered such people? They will see small faults and they'll keep on speaking about this person has done this and yeah and faults is this much. You know, just like some people they criticize ISKCON. ISKCON is doing all nonsense. They're not doing any social welfare activity. No fault, they are ati asadhutam. No faults, but they are finding faults. Asad ati and asadhutam, Small faults, magnifies it. Next level is asadhutar. He'll see faults and good, but he will overlook the good and he will focus on the faults. He'll not magnify it, but lekin fault hi dekhega. He'll see only faults. Next level is asadhu. You know what asadhu thinks? When he sees somebody practicing good thing, what he'll say, it will not last long. This person has become spiritual. I know it is all a show. It will not last long. Asadhu. Now going on the positive side, there are some people who are mahat. Mahat means they'll see some fault, they use that fault for something good. We know the story of Haridas Prabhu. He was earlier a thief. He would steal things. Long story, somehow he came to Krishna consciousness, became devotee, initiated. And one day he went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, whole night everybody is sleeping and my job starts in night only. I am not able to sleep. What to do? Prabhupada said, don't worry. That time he was translating his books in Juhu land. He said, whole night I am translating and there are so many dogs in this area. And as I am translating, so Sri Bhagavan said, bah, 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 bah. Dogs voice enter the mic. So what you do is you chase away the dogs. So what is he doing? Fault, he's using it for something good. Mahat. Mahattar means what? He sees the faults and the good. He overlooks the fault. He sees the good. Just like one time, Prabhupada was giving a class in 26th Avenue and one drunkard came and he put some toilet papers in the washroom. He's drunk. Prabhupada said, just see, that is the desire of a living entity to serve. In that situation also he is serving. Mahattar. No. Higher than that is Mahattam. He sees small good, he magnifies it. One person came to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, your disciples, their pronunciation is not good. Western disciples, they're reciting Sanskrit verses, their pronunciation is not good. Prabhupada said, their pronunciation may not be good, but their enunciation is very good. Mahattam, Higher than that is Ati Mahattam. Ati Mahattam means he sees good qualities even if there are none. No good qualities, still he is seeing something good. There was a personality, a hippie, he came to one of the temples and he started saying there, he didn't take bath for many weeks and his hairs were full of flies and insects. And he would lie down in the doorway and people are coming and seeing who is this person. Devotees, but he liked to eat prasad. And devotees were getting disturbed. They wrote to Prabhupada. Said, Prabhupada, what to do with this person? He is disturbing. New people, they are coming and they are seeing him first. He is lying in the doorway. Prabhupada said, can't you tolerate? At least he is, eating prasad. Matlab, koi good quality nahi, no good quality. Still, Prabhupada is seeing good quality. After 20 years. And devotees would call him Crazy Peter. After 20 years, Giriraj Maharaj tells this. One day, he went to New Vrindavan. And in that, after 20 years in Mangala Aarti, he recognizes Crazy Peter. He's still here. So he asks other devotees, who is this person? Giriraj Maharaj is asking. He said, so that devotee is Maharaj. He is Pushakrit Das. You know who is Pushakrit Das? He translated most of the Gaudiya literatures from Sanskrit to English. Can you imagine? That is the Ati Mahattam. No good qualities, but Prabhupada could see the good qualities. So why I'm telling you all this is we have to understand where we are and try to rise above the spectrum. You know, from Ati Asadhutam, of course, we may not be at that level. But wherever we are, we have to rise above in our, understanding. That is how we have to advance. Hare Krishna. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you very much. I really appreciate Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this very, very detailed answer. It was very nice. I have another one question. Hand raised, Prabhuji. Jayananda Gaurahari Prabhu. You can ask your question.
Thank you, Maharaji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, I just no question, Prabhuji. I want to share. I had met you at the last Tuesday at Chaupati Temple, Prabhuji, during Guru Puja. I am Jayananda Gaurahari Das from Chennai. I met you and Vridamohan Prabhu and Radhika Vallabh Prabhu. I had, by Radha Gopinath's mercy, I had darshan, I had Guru Puja, I had prasad, listened to lecture of our Madan Prabhuji's class also, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for a little association I had with you all on the day. Due to that, Sunday I had full view of online Brahmotsava program at our festival, Prabhuji. Listen to our Maharaja's class also, Prabhuji. Thank you all for association, Prabhuji. Thank you. I want to make you the opportunity to talk to you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Conversation.
I think there's in the chat, but I think I have answered this already. It is regarding criticism and the same theme.
Yes.
Any other questions anybody has? Or can thank you.
Yes, Gaur Vilas Prabhu, sorry, I was trying to list out the different from Ati Asadhutam to Ati Mat. I could not follow up because I was missing the word when you were explaining. I don't know how I can get the reference so that because it's very, very helpful for me so that I can be able to know where I am and how to move forward.
Okay, I can just find out the verse number, just if you give me a minute. This is Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 2nd chapter. This is 4:4:12. Okay, 4th canto, 4th chapter, 12th verse. If you read the Chakravarti Thakur's purport, you will find all this description there. 4:4:12.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. If there are no questions, can we end here, Prabhuji? Yes.
Yeah.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha कृपा सिंधुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhu ji ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhu ji, for your time and association. Please keep coming. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Gauranga.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Gauranga.